Gay New Orleans is one of my favorite cities. I've been coming here for over 20 years since my very first Southern decadence back in college. So I know a thing or two about the best gay bars, restaurants, and the best things to see and do here in the Big Easy. It's also Andy's first time in New Orleans, so we're super excited and ready to go explore.
Let's go.
We are here on Bourbon Street, which is probably the first thing people think of when they hear New Orleans.
Or Mardi Gras.
Yeah, for sure. We're here at the start of parade season. There's going to be something like 40 parades here in the coming weeks, culminating with the biggest and most flashy, of course, on Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is French for Fat Tuesday. The tradition has it that a fatted calf is slaughtered just before Lent. There's already tons of decorations up and the city is super excited for the big festivities ahead. For anyone's first trip to New Orleans, you have to try the famous beignets.
Here we are at Café du Monde. It's my first beignet here. Oh, that's nice and hot. Oh shit. Did you do that on purpose? Should I take a bite? I'll take a bite. Is muy bien.
After a walk around the French Quarter, taking in the colorful homes and beautiful architecture, it's time for our first cocktail. Step inside the stunning lobby of the Hotel Monteleone on Royal Street, where you will find the Carousel Bar, the city's only revolving bar. Order a signature Pim's Cup and enjoy your cocktail as you slowly circle around the bar. It's such a fun and unique experience. Classic New Orleans. Afterwards, head to Jackson Square in the heart of the French Quarter to see the iconic St. Louis Cathedral, the oldest cathedral in continuous use in the United States. Also, the weather can change on a dime in New Orleans, so it could be beautiful and sunny and then be raining like 10 minutes later. So you definitely want to bring a rain jacket or an umbrella when you come to New Orleans.
Even if it's raining, we highly recommend getting outside of the quarter to explore. If you're a streetcar enthusiast like me, you'll definitely want to check out the streetcars here in New Orleans. Fun fact, I drove the streetcar in San Francisco, the F line to the Castro, when we met. Yeah, the design of that car is from Peter Witt, 1914, 15, maybe 1919. But the Milan cars that I drove in were made at 1929 through 31, the ones that San Francisco has. Same design, same driving. You're kind of driving with your hands, kind of doing one of these.
You had so many people that got on the car just because they were like total rail enthusiasts and like knew some of the cars, that the cars were from different cities, right? And so people would get on to be like, oh, I used to drive this streetcar 50 years ago in St. Louis, for example, right?
Or they used to ride it with their grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are here in the Garden District, just walking from St. Charles, which is the northern border, also where a lot of the floats come down for Mardi Gras. So that's why you saw all the amazing decorations. And we're headed down to the southern border of the Garden District, which is Magazine Street. And there's just amazing shops and restaurants on Magazine Street. It's beautiful, and it's a great way to just escape the French Quarter for a little bit and try something different. It's probably the second most famous neighborhood in New Orleans. Here we are on Magazine Street with its cute local shops and restaurants. Before it starts pouring rain again this afternoon, we are going to check out a beautiful hotel here in the Garden District called the Chloe. They have a great bar and happy hour, so definitely worth a stop if you're in the neighborhood. If you are an art or history buff, we can highly recommend the New Orleans Museum of Art, as well as the massive World War II museum, as well as the guided cemetery tours. Just outside the city, there are also some beautiful historic mansions like Oak Alley that was used in the filming of Interview with the Vampire. You can either take an organized tour or rent a car to head out there. But we are heading to St. Louis Cemetery number 1 for one of the official guided tours.
It's the oldest cemetery in New Orleans with over 50,000 people buried in tomb systems in just one city block. Popular stops on the guided tour include the future tomb of Nicolas Cage and civil rights pioneer Homer Plessy.
According to our guide, St. Louis #1 also has the second most visited grave in the United States, that of Voodoo Queen Marie Laveau. Whether that's true or not, she's definitely the most famous grave here, and many visitors leave her offerings as a thank you in advance for her help. We're actually staying close to Marie Laveau's former house, where most of the gay bars are in the quarter. For an easygoing gay bar to have an afternoon drink with friendly locals and fellow tourists, head to Good Friends. It's also a great place to meet people when visiting New Orleans.
For gay nightlife in New Orleans, you're in for a real treat. New Orleans is an OCD, or open container district, so while bar hopping, grab a Go Cup.
As we mentioned, we also like Good Friends. It's an amazing bar to chill and meet some new people. We also really like Café Lafitte in Exile. It's definitely somewhere you should stop on your gay nightlife tour here in New Orleans. It's the oldest continually operating gay bar in the United States. It opened all the way back in 1933. Don't confuse this though with Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop Piano Bar. It is the oldest continually operating bar in the United States, opened its doors back in the 1700s. You'll also find a large number of gay folks at this bar, but it's not exclusively gay like Café Lafitte in Exile, but there is an awesome piano bar in the back, and they have tunes usually on the weekends, but we tried to go this week and couldn't find it. Maybe that's because of COVID, but it's usually super fun with a lot of folks singing along, and so definitely worth checking out as well. Taking it up a notch, the two most famous gay bars in New Orleans are Bourbon Pub and Oz, and they are located directly across the street from each other at the gay end of Bourbon. Both have shows many nights of the week, but I've always been a little partial to the performances at Oz. The energy here is just so fun and everyone is welcome. To recover from a fun night out at the best gay bars in New Orleans, head over to local favorite, the Country Club in Bywater. They have an amazing pool here, which is super fun in the summer. I actually remember when it was clothing optional, but unfortunately no more. But they do have an amazing drag brunch that is restarted, but make a reservation as it's super, super popular, but the seating at the bar area is first come, first serve.
For our last night here in New Orleans, and to end our trip on a high note, we're going to head over for some local jazz on Bourbon and Frenchman Streets.
As they like to say here, laissez les bon temps rouler, or let the good times roll.
Let's fly down, or drive down to New Orleans.
If you are planning a trip to gay New Orleans, there are so many great times of the year to visit, as there are so many festivals. You have options like Jazz Fest, Southern Decadence, the Red Dress Run, Mardi Gras, and of course Gay Pride in June. For logistics, you will most likely fly into Louis Armstrong International Airport. The airport code is MSY. On arrival, you will find local taxis as well as both Uber and Lyft operating in New Orleans. It's raining a little bit here, have sunshine and rain, but yeah, so you will take a Lyft into the city and it'll take about 20 to 30 minutes to get into the French Quarter from the airport, and it'll cost around $35. For hotels, don't be afraid to stay just outside the quarter in the CBD or the Central Business District. There you will find a number of historic properties as well as ultra-modern properties like the pet-friendly Ace Hotel. Also, why not try something different and stay in a historic inn like the Olivier House? I've stayed in dozens and dozens of properties over the years, from the Hotel Monteleone and also the W Hotel, all good choices. And for a splurge, why not try the Windsor Court Hotel? For restaurants, our top pick is Irene. The service is top-notch, the bar is beautiful, and the piano player is super accommodating with requests. Another favorite is the Napoleon House for lunch or dinner, or just cocktails at the bar on a rainy afternoon. Sylvain is a romantic candlelit spot with their famous champagne and french fries, two of our favorite things. You can't go wrong there. And finally, we love Dominica at the Glam Hotel Roosevelt. Reservations are suggested. However, there is a happy hour from 3 to 5 during the weekdays where both the pizzas and the wine are half off. For the best gay bars and clubs, again, the two most famous are Oz as well as the Bourbon Pub and Parade. For something more relaxed, head over to Good Friends. For something a little more scandalous, head to the Corner Pocket. Golden Lantern, the home of Southern Decadence, is also a great spot for local drag. For the best gay gym in New Orleans, I love the New Orleans Athletic Club. They have a beautiful historic pool as well as ballroom, and they have a huge gym as well as steam and sauna. It's truly a spectacular space. And of course, true to New Orleans fashion, they have a bar. I've had friends join me after a workout just for a drink, but unfortunately, during the COVID protocols that are happening right now in New Orleans, they are not allowing any non-members. But hopefully that will change soon and we can come back to the New Orleans Athletic Club. For more on our recommendations here in gay New Orleans, head over to our website at twogayexpats.com.
And be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel.
And follow us on social media at twogayexpats. We also just signed up for TikTok, and our first video crazily already has 375,000 views, so go check that out and subscribe there as well.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.